G. Disinfection of mains utilizing dry calcium hypochlorite. 1 Calcium hypochlorite, Heath. Mains shall be disinfected with dry calcium hypochlorite, Heath, where shown on the plans or as directed. 2 Dosage. Disinfect the new or replaced mains with calcium hypochlorite, Heath, of 70% available chlorine. Sufficient calcium hypochlorite, Heath, shall be used to obtain a minimum chlorine concentration of 50 ppm. The following Table 7, chlorine dosage, is included for the convenience of the contractor. Table 8 shows chlorine dosage. A heaping tablespoon holds approximately 1/2 ounce, and a standard measuring cup holds approximately 8 ounces. 3 Filling the main. Those sections of main to which dry calcium hypochlorite, Heath, has been applied shall be filled slowly to allow for the even distribution of the disinfecting material. The manipulation of valves shall be under the supervision of the engineer's representative in accordance with Section 3F. 2. Operation of valves. 4 Holding time. The length of time that sections of main disinfected with calcium hypochlorite, Heath, shall be allowed to stand undisturbed will depend upon the particular job. When circumstances permit a shutdown with no customers out of service, the required minimum detention time shall be 24 hours with a 50 ppm chlorine dosage. When customers are out of service during a shutdown with no leakage past valves, the required minimum detention time shall be 3 hours and the chlorine dosage shall be 300 ppm. When customers are out of service during a shutdown with some leakage past valves, the required minimum detention time shall be 30 minutes with a 500 ppm chlorine dosage. 5 Flushing. Following the expiration of the specified holding time, the treated section of main shall be flushed thoroughly by the contractor in accordance with the applicable provisions of Subarticle 3E, Flushing and Testing Mains. Flushing shall continue until no chlorine remains detectable by taste or odor or until the chlorine residual is less than 0.3 ppm. 6 Preventing reverse flow. Valves shall be manipulated so that the strong chlorine solution in the line being treated shall be flushed out of the main and will not flow back into the line supplying the water. 7 Supervision. All disinfection shall be done under the general supervision of the engineer. 8 Additional treatment. If the new main fails to meet minimum public health standards for bacteriological quality after flushing, further treatment shall be as directed. If further disinfection is required, chlorination shall be done in accordance with Subarticle 3F, disinfection of new mains utilizing machine chlorination. In no case, however, is the new line to be acceptable as complete and satisfactory until the bacteriological quality of the water taken from the main meets the standards of the TCEQ. 9 Safeguarding and backfilling open holes. The requirements for safeguarding and backfilling all holes excavated or left open for chlorinating and sampling shall be as specified in Section 3F. 4. Safeguarding and backfilling open holes. H. Service supply lines. 1 Designation of service supply lines. A water supply line located between the water main and water meter, or between the water main and property or right-of-way line if unmetered, is designated as a service supply line. 2 Service supply line installation. Excavation, backfill, cutting, and replacement of pavement shall be in accordance with Subarticle 3A, excavation. The minimum depth of cover over the top of the service supply lines shall be 36 in. Unless otherwise shown on the plans. The minimum trench width for service supply lines 2 inches and smaller shall be 8 inches while the minimum trench width for service supply lines larger than 2 inches shall be the nominal pipe diameter plus 16 inches. All service supply lines shall be embedded in sand in accordance with Section 3D. 3. Sand backfilling of cross trenches, and open holes. Final trench backfill and restoration for service supply lines shall be completed in accordance with Subarticle 3D, backfill. For service supply lines outside the limits of new street construction, said street shall be replaced in accordance with Section 3A. 11. Pavement. 3 Ductile iron lines. Ductile iron pipe and cast iron fittings used for services larger than 2 inches shall be installed in accordance with the applicable provisions for subarticle 3b, pipe laying. 4 copper service lines. 3/4 inches through 2 inches copper tubing shall be cut squarely by using an approved cutting tool and avoiding excessive pressure on the cutting bin cut, but before flaring, a reamer shall be used to remove the inside rolled lip from the tubing. Flared ends shall be expanded by the use of a flaring tool using care to avoid splitting, crimping, or overstressing the metal. Pipe adjacent to fittings shall be straight for at least 10 inches. Bending of tubing shall be accomplished by using an appropriately sized bending tool. If kinks, dents, flats, or crimps occur, the damaged section shall be cut out and replaced. Where a copper service line is being installed in conjunction with new main construction which must be disinfected before service installation can be completed, the option of installing the corporation stop when the new main is installed and coiling the required amount of copper tubing in the excavation adjacent to the trench may be exercised. The corporation stop shall be closed and the coiled copper tubing is then to be packed in sand to facilitate recovery for later completion of the service installation. 5. Reconnecting service lines. Where the new main to which services shall be reconnected is on the same side of the street as the old main, the existing services to be transferred are designated short reconnects regardless of the side of the street to which they extend. Where the new main to which services shall be reconnected is on the opposite side of the street from the old main, the existing services extending to the same side of the street as that on which the new main is located are designated short reconnects, and those extending to the opposite side of the street from that on which the new main is located are designated long reconnects. Unless specified otherwise, existing meter and meter box relocation shall be included in the service reconnection. A. Short reconnects. Both the old and new water mains at existing service line connections shown on the plans shall be exposed, the old main for the purpose of gaining access to the existing service corporation stop and the new main for the purpose of installing the new corporation stop. The new main shall be drilled and tapped with an approved tapping machine, a new corporation stop installed under pressure and the trench extended laterally to expose a sufficient length of the existing service line to provide slack to bend it into position for tying to the new corporation stop. After suitable notification to the customer, the contractor shall kill the existing service by closing the corporation stop at the old main, cut the existing service at a point opposite the new main, attach a flared copper fitting, and connect it to the new corporation stop. The contractor shall then immediately open the stop and restore water service to the customer. Where it is not possible to obtain sufficient length in the existing service to tie directly to the new main, at the direction of the engineer, the contractor shall splice the necessary length of new tubing and tie it to the existing service by means of a compression or sweat coupling at a point as close as practicable to the new main. Cutting and bending of the tubing, introduction of slack to compensate soil movement, and completion of the installation shall be as shown on the plans. B. Long reconnects. Completion of long reconnects shall proceed as outlined above for short reconnects. 6. Relaying service lines. Where the new main to which services shall be relayed is on the same side of the street as the customer's meter, the services to be transferred are designated short relays. Where the new main to which services shall be relayed is on the opposite side of the street from the customer's meter, the services to be transferred are designated long relays. Unless specified otherwise, existing meter and meter box relocation shall be included in the service relay. A. Short relays. The existing or new mains shown on the plans shall be exposed opposite the location directed. The existing or new main shall be drilled and tapped with an approved tapping machine, a new corporation stop installed, and the trench extended laterally to the location specified for the meter box. The existing meter shall be reset and the meter box and base shall be installed at its designated location and perpendicular to the corporation stop in the water main. The meter box is not to vary more than 24 inches in any direction from its designated location. The service line shall be installed with sufficient slack to compensate for soil movement. Where the location of the existing meter is not changed, the new service line shall be installed with sufficient slack to compensate for soil movement. Where the location of the existing meter is not changed, the new service line shall be extended from the main to the existing meter, a new curb stop installed at the end of the service line, and connected to the inlet side of the meter. If disturbed, the existing meter box shall be reset to correct grade. B. Long relays. Installation of long relays shall proceed as outlined above for short relays.